Hello. Welcome to another episode of Not Alone Talks. I'm of course joined by Elle. Elle, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Another start of a fantastic week, no doubt. We're watching this on a Monday, so hopefully everyone got through it okay. We're also joined by the other guest host today, Lola, making herself comfortable next to me. So no doubt at some point during this recording, I'm going to get walked all over. Well, it's LGBT History Month, which could you believe it? It comes around so quickly. I remember doing stuff for it last year. Um, and we're going to touch on that a bit in today's show. But actually, our theme for today is positivity. What's your thoughts on positivity? It's a very broad subject, isn't it?
I feel like there's a limit to it. I feel like a lot of people are constantly saying, "Oh, be positive, stay positive," and sometimes that can actually be quite damaging to people. I
Yeah.
believe there should be a fine line between false positivity and realistic goals and positivity, especially during these times. I will just reiterate that I feel personally it is okay if you're not coping positively, but do reach out for help if you're not. And hopefully these talks will motivate you to feel more positive in a realistic manner, because there's a lot about that which, I mean, I could go on for a long time about how there's a lot of posts at the moment being like, stay positive, and I've been told before as well, oh, but you know, you've got everything going for you, stay positive. And that sometimes can be more damaging than good. Definitely.
Yeah,
So don't feel,
absolutely.
I feel like a lot of people need to be reminded that that is okay to not be positive all the time, and to there's a difference between being positive and being realistic and aiming to stay well.
Yeah. Well, the good news is we're sticking on the safe side of positivity. We've got a couple of videos which are just happy and just to remind people to try and be positive if they can.
Nice.
In fact, should we have a look at one to start
Oh,
with? Give us a good point to start talking, won't you? I think that's really nice. It just makes
that's
me
nice.
smile.
Oh, 100%. That's lovely. Like, I think that, because I think stop signs in them themselves are almost quite negative. So bringing that in as a positive is quite nice. It's quite clever. I thought
As long
that.
as I don't get done for vandalising.
Oh, that is, isn't it? But that was
I like that. Yeah, it's a nice reminder, isn't it? That actually, no
yeah,
matter what you've sort of gone through, there's always the opportunity to move forward from that.
exactly.
Nice,
100%.
isn't it? Now, out of interest, positivity obviously it links quite closely to happiness as well. What is the one thing that makes you the happiest in the world?
I guess it would be seeing everyone I love being happy. I'm one of those people. I'm quite a people pleaser. But I would say, yeah, seeing my family and friends be happy, seeing them succeed and seeing them do well. For me, that makes that brings so much empathy and joy to my heart to see somebody who I know has been through something coming from it and going, you know what, I'm going to define everything and I'm going to just keep going forward. And that makes me happy. That makes me feel positive. It also motivates me to do the same as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my answer of chocolate just got blown out of the water, didn't it?
Oh,
No, I think that.
chocolate's good. That was my second one. Food.
There you go. Do you know, actually, talking of chocolate, completely off brand and nothing to do with what we're talking about. Last week in our Not Alone talk, the week before, you were talking about Halo Top ice cream. And since I've discovered it now, and I can't stop. I mean, I'm sitting there with this whole tub of ice cream, and I'm like, oh, it's only 320 calories. I can finish the whole thing tonight.
It's such a cheat, isn't it? Because you've only
I
got
know.
calories in it. You can eat the whole tub, and it comes in so many different flavors. The
I
peanut
had
butter one.
chocolate.
Which one did you have?
So far, I've tried the chocolate one, the cookie, and the cookie dough one, which I
Nice.
was like, oh, it's all right, but it doesn't really hit the Ben and Jerry's one because the cookie dough is like the size of a pea. So in the end, I was digging through it looking for just the cookie dough bits. It's probably
Nice.
not the healthiest way to eat it. Uh, and then the salted caramel one, but I couldn't eat the whole pot of that. It was too salty.
Yeah, yeah. fair play. My favorite is the peanut butter one. That is my favorite. It's got, if you haven't tried
I'm gonna
it, try it. It's probably the best one because it's got all these peanut butter bits in there, and I'm just like, oh, and yeah, I do what you do. I try and get the best bits out. Probably not the best way to eat it, but again, if you're watching this and you want something to make you feel happy and positive, eat that ice cream.
Yeah, eat ice cream.
Not calories. Eating the ice cream. Honestly, I probably will have to go out in a bit and get some. Actually, you've just reminded me.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can eat all this ice cream for 300 calories. It's probably got no nutritional value to it whatsoever, but
it's good.
It doesn't matter. Well, the reason I asked about what makes you happy and the massive detail there, the ice cream, is our next video, someone went out in the microphone in a park and just asked people, what makes you happy? And I thought, what a brilliant way to look at things positively. And I liked the one that I'm going to show you because it was just so simple and it's something that you see all the time. So
nice.
Share it.
Okay. Can you name just one reason why you're happy today?
Because there's dogs in the park. Yeah.
That's true. What's your favorite breed?
Oh, Spring Spaniel.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Bye.
I know it's small, but it was just a smile on his face when he was talking about the dogs, and I was like, "That's so me. I love dogs."
Oh, absolutely. Go on.
Now, what were you going to say?
I think that's a really nice thing to do as well, because I feel like, especially where we are living, we live near London, and a lot of people don't stop and talk to each other as much as maybe they would in a small, like rural, maybe say in Devon or wherever. Down here, down south, we tend to kind of like just get on with our day, especially before Corona. We would just get on the train, commute, whatever, and you wouldn't say anything to anyone. And I think that's really important as well, because going on that, it's important to talk to people, and that one person talking to him might have made his day and might have helped him through the day, and to remind him to keep positive, because there's always that negativity is so much stronger, I feel, than positivity. It's so much easier to feel negative. I'm a culprit as well, unfortunately. I'm really bad with it. And sometimes to get out of that negative thought process, someone just needs to say something like that to me, like, what makes you happy? Or do you want some ice cream? Or whatever. And it just gets me out of that mode. And that, I think, is so important, especially in this day and age, and especially what everyone's going through at the moment. So important. And I think that video is awesome. More of that. Like, I think we should all be doing that. We might be looked weird.
I mean, obviously, I try not to talk to people too much when I'm out and about because of COVID, but I have gone from my ultra like masculine, all right? When you walk past someone, hello, you up, bruv? So actually saying hello to people. And actually today I was walking the dog and I was like, hello, when I was walking past someone. They actually asked me how I was and stuff like that. And I thought that was nice because I mean, I didn't stop and chat because I don't want to get too close to people and COVID and all of that jazz. But it was just nice that someone sort of asked that question.
Yeah, exactly. And I think definitely in these times that we're in at the moment, even safely stopping to say hi to someone is so important, because if you're in the house, which we are at the moment, we're stood in a lockdown, seeing that other person that you might not talk to otherwise is so important. Humans are pack animals. We like to chat. We're social creatures, and it's just so important. Again, I can't reiterate it any differently than that.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's positive as well to do that.
Yeah. Well, that was short, wasn't it? That was our 2 positivity videos for the day. Obviously, we've still got more to talk about. We're not leaving it there. But I feel like I could talk about positivity all day. It's such a nice subject to talk about.
Yeah.
And whenever you feel someone being positive, I think sometimes it's infectious. When it's what's it like? When it's legitimate positivity about something that you're passionate about, it becomes infectious, doesn't it?
So energy is.
I was doing some exercise for one of the coming up, not alone LGBT History Month shows that are coming out. And I'm not going to say too much, so I don't want to give anything away. But the people that were doing it were so into the exercise and enjoy exercise so much, you could feel that positivity. You can't help but get caught up in it, and you're like, yeah, let's do it.
That's why I do the exercise I do during the week as well, because I get out of work mode and I'm just like, oh, I can't be bothered to do this. But then the instructor is so motivational and so positive. It just gets me into it. And at the end of the session, I'm just like, yes. And I feel so good about myself because I did it. And I think that's as well. Like, it might be difficult to get yourself out of that mindset, but once you're out of it, even a little bit, you just feel so much better. And surround yourself with people that are like that too, because like we said, the energy just fills the room. It fills the atmosphere, if you like, of even if we're online and talking to people, you can definitely still feel that energy. 100%. That's not fun.
Well, speaking about someone who never runs out of energy, as you know, on the Not Alone talk shows, we've been trying to introduce you to another member of the Pride and Surrey family each time we do a show. We've not done it every week because, I'm rubbish at remembering. And this week, we managed to track Yana down, and I used the pun track because she was at the train tracks. I know.
Hey.
So, I'm not going to talk anymore. Let's just see a little bit more about Yana.
Hi guys. For those who don't know me, my name is Yana. I'm one of the volunteers for Pride and Surrey. My role is a community liaison, and also I create some content online for you. A lot of it I do with my partner Molly. We started doing cook-alongs for you sometimes last year, and hopefully you've enjoyed some of them. We try to show you that anyone can do it, and we try to bring some fun into it, and cook healthy. And most of all, we try to make sure it's kind of edible. And so far we've succeeded, so that's all good. You might also have seen me on Muse on the News, which we do every week with lovely Lisa and Kel, and lots of other stuff. But I also work on the railway. That's my full-time job as a mobile operations manager. And my job is all about dealing with incidents on the railway. And it's very exciting. I adore my job. Every day is different. I could be dealing with flooding, fires, derailments, signal failures, or trespassers on the line, and sometimes animals on the line. So yeah, I absolutely love my job. I'm also a keen tennis player. Molly and I play in our local league, which obviously at the moment we can't. But we try to stay positive, and instead we do a lot of exercise at home. We started doing yoga and a lot of online sort of stuff. And also just going for a lot of walks and just discovering our surrounding area. And it's been quite exciting. So we just got to stay positive and hope this will not last too much longer. And we'll be back to normal. But meanwhile, I'm just enjoying celebrating and connecting and educating as a part of Pride in Surrey. I think it's something to be proud of, and the fact that you guys are supporting us is amazing. So thank you all very much, and just please stay positive, and we'll get there. Have a good day, everyone.
I love Yana.
She's lovely. She's so when anyone from Pride talks online, it's very engaging. Definitely, I'd say Yana and Molly, they're definitely very engaging people to learn from and talk to and engage with online. Definitely. Like I think I could feel like her energy coming through, talking of energy and positivity. I could feel like I was nodding in almost like she was talking to me. Yeah, she's great. She's a ledge.
Oh, exactly. And of course, her job acronym is MUM, which just makes me laugh so much. I called her Mummy Yana.
Yeah.
I realised maybe it's a bit cringy, but of course I called her Auntie Yana, you name it. But yeah, I mean, what a fantastic and interesting job that must be. You can imagine like every day must be so different, very different.
100%.
Well, actually, we're going back over to Yana again now, but actually she's at home this time and she's not wearing shiny orange clothes. She's wearing clothes.
Just put that in there.
Yeah, just had to clarify. As you know, LGBT History Month, Molly and Yana have got a short little clip just introducing what they're getting up to for the History Month.
Hi everyone, it's Yana and Molly from Cook-along.
Hello.
You can tell.
You can tell.
Always ready to cook.
It's now LGBT History Month, and this month we're going to cook 4 dishes for you, 1 a week, based around the mind and the body. So our first cook-along
will be on Tuesday at 6 p.m. and we're going to cook fish because fish is good for you for so many reasons. Also, it's easy to cook. Quite simple, I think. Fish, you can do it in so many ways. and it's full of good nutritions and omega oils. So we thought that will fit nicely with our theme of body, mind, and spirit for LGBT History Month.
Absolutely. So join in tomorrow at 6 o'clock on all our channels to watch our dish. We'll let you know all about it tomorrow, and we'll give you some interesting facts about the goodness that comes from fish and the other ingredients we're using.
Thank you for reminding me that's tomorrow.
Oh, you're welcome.
Tuesday, that's tomorrow. So
Yes.
we'll see you then.
We'll see you then. Have a good day.
Bye.
I mean, a fantastic theme, and I'm sure the food is going to look fantastic. But
Yes.
I can't stand a fish.
Do you not like fish?
No, and I know you're supposed to eat it once a week, aren't you? Because it's so good for your brain.
Oh yeah.
I can't get myself to do it. I used to be alright with mussels, but
Yeah.
even I look at mussels and I don't know what it is about them. They just
I used to eat raw mussels at home, and sea urchin used to cut them in half. It used to be this.
raw.
No, the sea urchins you could eat raw because you just cut it open and you put bread in. It's like this red stuff. I remember as a child being given that, and the mussels I used to eat literally off the rock raw. Yeah, and I'm still alive.
I don't think you can eat them raw.
I was fine. I probably shouldn't have done it, but I was fine as a child. They were quite yummy.
I thought you got salmonella poisoning.
Well, I managed to get away from that. If I was the weird and wonderful things I ate as a child.
Yeah,
Yes.
I suppose if it's fresh, I mean, you can eat lots of fresh fish raw, can't you?
Well, I never got ill.
Sushi.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
I never got ill from it. Like I used to just be at the beach and maybe I was just lucky. No one. I don't think I ever did it in front of my parents, which is probably why I never got told off. I was just like, But the sea urchins were quite nice, I have to say.
To cover her. I can picture you now in the sea with a net catching prawns or something, eating those raw.
Fresh fish is so good. Like when I grew up on a little island, and obviously we were surrounded by water, and you would go into a restaurant and fish would just be on the menu, like swordfish steak, you name it, they had it. And this fish soup, with this lemon sauce, oh my days, I'm literally thinking about it now. Different dish. And then it was like in this broth, and you dip your bread in, and that for me was such a treat as a child to eat that. And even now, if I've got fish on the menu for the evening, I'm excited. Let's say that I get really excited because fish is probably my favorite food. Do you like fish and chips though? Do you eat fish and chips like the?
No, I'm more of a sausage kind of guy. Instead of I always go for a nice big Savoy.
Type of sausage that they do in the shop. Is that what you would normally get if you went to get fish and chips? Would you normally get the sausage then?
I go for a Savoy. No, the big red one.
Oh yeah, I know them. Yeah. Have you tried the German sausages? Have you tried those hot dogs? You'd like them if you like.
So they're the ones that always just appear at Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on.
I was just going to say, I always mean to try one around Christmas time.
Get it next Christmas. Do it. Honestly, if you're a fan of hot dogs, sausages, those sort of things, try this sausage is so good. Like honestly, I could have eaten about 5. It's like in a hot dog bun, and I think I had one not this Christmas because we weren't allowed out. The one before, and honestly.
2 years and you're still raving about it. It must have been a very impressive sausage.
I went to Southampton Christmas market a couple of years ago when I had one there. There was like this little German market there. And in Winter Wonderland, they did it as well. And I was just like, I just went for that sausage, to be honest. That's how good it was.
Oh, the things we do for sausage.
Sausage, exactly. You'll go to London, all the way to London in a crowded place, which I hate crowds, just to get this sausage and
must be worth it. I mean, I know that, like, for example, my grandparents will drive all the way to somewhere in Sussex just for a curry, because there's this curry house that I think is amazing.
Nice.
I understand. They're not going to judge you.
Sometimes you know where the best places are, and if you have something that tastes a certain way, you don't go anywhere else because you know that that's what you like, and fair to them, good for them.
Right, well, we're going to finish off with one last proper video. I've been talking to this fantastic TikToker, and I'm going to put her name will be in the video. but I'll also put it in the description of the video. She is a history student, I believe, and has essentially been doing some fantastic TikToks about little known LGBT history cases. And I was having a chat, and they said that we could use one of their videos a week for the rest of LGBT History Month. So we're going to start with this one. It is a bit of a sad story, I'm afraid, but it really shows the importance of knowing our history and the sort of things that LGBT people have been through. So let's have a watch.
This lesbian couple here ended up tricking a priest in 1901 Spain into marrying them. On the left is Marcella, and on the right is Elisa. Elisa ended up calling herself Mario in order to trick the priest into thinking she was a man. Elisa, by calling herself a man and also dressing more masculine and also getting the relatives in attendance to not really say anything, tricked the priest into actually getting these two married in 1901. This was the first ever same-sex marriage in the Spanish Catholic Church. Sadly, this victory did not last very long. When authorities started to find out that Eliza was really a woman, then they were on the run from persecution for the rest of their lives. The two fled to Portugal and then fled to Argentina in 1902. The two were eventually arrested. Eliza then committed suicide in 1909, and I do not know the fate of Marcella.
Oh,
I mean,
sad. Like, it's sad that you have to. Sorry, go on.
no, I was just going to say, it just shows like the things that people in our community have had to go through for so long. And you know, we actually owe it to people like these two for where we are now, because actually without their actions, the church would not have recognised us sort of our relationships and how valid they are. It's disgusting that people had to die for our cause. Die for love. I mean,
we're sad that like people who are heterosexual, I think that's the right word, yes it is, do not understand, you know, may not understand the difficulties that other people went through, and that in itself, like, other people could just go and get married and it would be fine, and the fact that you had to be a woman or a man, it's pretty disgusting actually that that's the case. It's, for me, I can't comprehend that, because for me, I've always been brought up knowing that sometimes a lady and a lady might be in love. It was never an issue, but of course, even in this generation, even now, you see all this terror that goes on like in public and stuff. You can't hold hands with someone who's the same sex as you, but without people looking at you. I've single-handedly had to deal with that myself in a way as well. When I was dating a girl, it was like I couldn't walk down the road without people looking at us. It was really strange. And you just think that, like, again, that's this cheesy thing of love is love. It shouldn't matter who you're with, as long as you're happy and as long as they're a good person. Like, who cares? Like, who cares?
Exactly.
And a lot of people nowadays don't know they've been born. They don't understand the hardships that other people have had to go through to just be together. Like, it's mad. Like, it's dark ages kind of stuff, innit? Like, it's just weird. Like, I don't understand.
It is why knowing our history is so important. Exactly. We can learn from these things. We can realise how much it hurts. Even just listening to that story, how much that hurts. And I think for most people, that can give them the compassion that they need to sort of support people.
100%. Like, definitely, I think it definitely needs to be addressed as well. As sad as it is, it needs to be addressed. It needs to be spoken about openly for people who may not understand, to start understanding that you can just walk into a church and get married to your husband or whatever. Other people haven't had it so easy. Even now in some countries, it's still illegal. You still would get into a lot of trouble, which is absurd. It's madness that it's still an issue. It should never have been an issue, ever. Like, what is wrong with people?
Well, nothing like ending on a nice, happy note, is there? Now, before we go, we have changed our show slightly, and we're now going to have a topic for each of the shows, and we would absolutely love to hear from anyone who is watching. If you've got a short video, if you want to record a short video about something that we're talking about, or even if you just have some topics that you'd like for us to discuss in the future. I'm going to show a quick infographic which has all of the information about our themes coming up and the email address if you want to get in touch. I'm not going to be able to talk over it, unfortunately, so for those of you who might struggle to read what's on the screen, the email address if you want to get involved in any of our shows for the Not Alone Talks, of course, is oscar@prideandsurrey.org. So let's just have a look at what's coming up.
this music just gets me grooving. I'm just there
Funky,
like,
doesn't it?
yeah,
So
love
right,
it.
the next song, we can record the lyrics over it. I'm very excited for these topics.
Yeah,
They're nice and broad as well, so we can get up to lots of different stuff.
brilliant. I'm excited. Sounds good. Keeping
Amazing.
busy. My birthday's on the 8th of February. My birthday's on the 9th of February, so we can talk about keeping busy.
Go. Oh, wow. I bet you can't wait. It's nice to have a birthday, isn't it?
31. It's not special.
31.
Oh
I
yeah.
still think it's crazy that you're in your 30s. Honestly, you don't look. You look at least 25.
Yeah, I yeah, I got a coffee this morning from Tesco, big Tesco, and they were like, "Oh, you're a student," and I was like, "Yes, I am actually studying part time at the moment." But the fact that they thought I was a young person student, I was like, "Get in!" I get ID'd everywhere I go. Literally, I get ID'd for if I get drink or if I don't know, like energy drinks. I've got an ID. Even paracetamol, I've been ID'd before. So.
It's so funny because I hardly ever get ID'd.
Ah,
I
yeah.
guess it's the hairy face.
I'm grateful for the genetics that I've been given
Yeah,
somewhat.
I would
'cause
be.
even though I used
European genetics, isn't it? I think
Pardon?
European genetics generally. Yeah,
Mediterranean genetics, we got fed quite nicely as well. Me and my brother got fed quite nicely as kids. We got a lot of sun when we were younger as well, and I think that's definitely helped. So if you're watching, Mum, thank you.
Oh, well, it's been fantastic to talk today. It's been lovely to catch up with you as it is every week.
you.
And you at home who have joined us, thank you for joining us. And we are back every Monday at 7 p.m. So feel free to join in if you want. And we'll speak to you next week. So that's a big bye from me.
Bye.